All right, welcome, everybody. We are back with a special Father's Day show. We have the legendary Bow-Legged Lou from the legendary royalty hip hop R&B group Bow-Legged Lou.
You didn't name the group. What's the name of the group?
Oh, Full Force.
That's right.
Of course.
You can't forget that. Yo, just a minute, Des. You forgot to say our name. I said, I bet you he probably forgot. He's going to probably say Foursome D's.
No way. Even though y'all had it all locked down back then, so you know what I'm saying. So that wouldn't have been too bad, but it would have been bad.
So what's up, brother?
You guys have been a big staple in New York, and just around the world with everything you've contributed to music, and you've produced UTFO, the Real Roxanne, James Brown, Lisa, and Coach. I mean, you started like I think you guys were probably the first producers to to bring other nationalities into hip hop for our generation, because y'all really blended a lot of with Lisa with the Latin, bringing that to the forefront. Like, was that by accident, or how did that come about? Because that's so prevalent now with J-Lo and all this stuff. Like Lisa was the original J-Lo.
No. She was not the original J-Lo. She was the original Lisa. Let's get that right.
Okay. But we didn't have another leading Latin female singer until she was the first one in my town.
So here's the deal. She was definitely the first. She was before everybody. Shakira, right. all of the Spanish people. She was before that. And in fact, Full Force, we were the ones that produced all of her hits and all her albums. We managed her everything with Lisa and Coach Jam. And because she was Latin, we take pride. I mean, we don't get the props for it, but we take pride in helping to create freestyle, because there was no such thing as freestyle until we did Lisa and Coach Jam. And because Lisa was Spanish, because if you see all these freestyle shows, it's mostly about Spanish. When we did Lisa, everybody, all the Spanish people and Puerto Ricans, they were inspired to start doing what we started, Full Force. What happens is that we already had the song called I Wonder If I Take You Home. Right. Our brother B Fine from Full Force. Full Force is 6 members. The 3 brothers, B Fine, Paul Anthony, and myself, Bow-Legged Lou, the same 3 guys you've seen in House Party, and our 3 cousins, Baby Jerry, Shy, and Kurt. That's Full Force, 6 members. We've been splitting money 6 ways, all our royalties. Even if 1 or 2 people write a song, it'll always say written and produced by Full Force. Right. So B, he already had the song done, I Wonder If I Take You Home, and he had a reference vocal to it. But his thing was, he said, whoever does this song, I want it to be a Spanish girl. So he wanted that from the jump, because he said at that time, you know, the Spanish people, they still had the flavor like us and all of that stuff, but he wanted a Spanish girl to do it. So Mike Hughes from Coach Jam, now Coach Jam, Mike Hughes was just a friend in our neighborhood, you know, a good friend of ours. So, and he, like back in the day when Full Force didn't even have a record deal, we used to stick posters and pictures of ourselves all over the 5 boroughs, and it would always say Full Force is back. You know, back from what we don't know, but we was a upstarting group trying to make it. And Mike Hughes would go, and we'd have Elmer's glue and everything. We put pictures all over the subways, and Mike Hughes would be with us with that. So Mike Hughes got the marching orders from B, looking for a Spanish girl. So he went to the Fun House in New York City, and that's where he found Lisa. And he told Lisa about, you know, we have this song and blah, 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 blah. So he brought Lisa down to an audition for us. And just on the low, even though B wanted a Spanish girl and Lisa, I wanted my friend at the time who didn't have a record deal. She was a friend of mine, called Cheryl Pepsi Riley.
Yes.
Well, you know, Full Force wrote and produced her #1 record, Thanks for My Child. Yeah. Not everybody knows that. So,
but Cheryl's been a part of y'all unit since before Lisa.
No, after Lisa Lisa, the Full Force family was UTFO first, Lisa Lisa and Code Jam second, the Real Roxanne with Hitman Howie T third,
Right.
and then Cheryl Pepsi Riley fourth. And then even after Cheryl Pepsi Riley was a girl group that we had called Ex-Girlfriend. That was the
Right.
Full Force
But
family.
but she was in a mix while you was putting Lisa together. Like she was like someone that
Of
you
course,
knew.
she was in the mix. I wanted Cheryl to do I Wonder If I Take You Home. So I went against my brother B's thinking, and I played the song for Cheryl with my brother B Fine's reference vocals on it. And it'll always be two stories between me and Cheryl. She claims that she was in another group, so she couldn't really do it. I could have swore when she had her husband, who's passed away now, on the other line, they just didn't like the song. That's what I thought. And then when we did the song and it was a smash, then when we came knocking for Cheryl again, she didn't refuse us this time. But anyway, so with Lisa Lisa, she came. Mike Hughes brought Lisa in to audition for us. We already had the song. We just wanted to know if she could sing. As soon as she walked into our basement in Brooklyn, okay, we didn't have a record deal yet. As soon as Lisa came in our basement in Brooklyn, Mike brought her there. We were like, wow, she was so fine, cute. Cute. She had nice bosoms.
Everything.
You know what I mean? Because that's what everybody remembered. Yes, exactly. Three-dimensional. So we was hoping she could sing. Now my brother B Fine didn't really want her to sing like Patti LaBelle or Aretha Franklin. He wanted her to have a voice where if other young girls, no matter what color they are, was to listen to her singing on radio, they could sing along, you know what I mean, and identify with it. So anyway, Lisa starts singing these songs that Michael Hughes wrote for her to sing, and they were horrible. And we were like, we was like so upset because by her singing those songs, it was almost like if she couldn't sing, but the songs was horrible. So before she left, before we said our goodbyes to her, my brother Paul Anthony from Full Force, he said, wait, Lisa, before you leave, is there another song or songs you could sing for us that's probably more familiar that we would know? Any cover songs? And then Lisa sung this song by Sheena Easton called For Your Eyes Only.
For your eyes, wow. Whoa.
After Lisa sung that, she was in. It was a wrap. And we did I Wonder If I Take You Home with her, and the rest is history. And the crazy thing about it was when we picked Lisa, Michael Hughes, who's been loyal to us through the streets of Brooklyn and all that, he came to us and said, hey guys, I was just wondering, I know you guys are going to go with Lisa, but I was thinking, can I join like a group? I was thinking me and Al Spanador, because Spanador was part of Cult Jam. He played the guitar in the neighborhood. So he says, I was thinking me and Al could be part of the group with Lisa, and maybe we call it, and we'd be Cult Jam. And then we said, okay, we rewarded him for his loyalty. So our former co-manager who's up in heaven, Steve Salem, was the one that came up with the nickname Lisa Lisa. It was like Duran Duran, Lisa Lisa. Right. So Lisa recorded I Wonder If I Take You Home, and I got to tell you, it was a smash,
beyond smash.
It was such a smash out the box that it took off overseas first. Such a smash that Russell Simmons came into our studio and he wanted to do a remix with us on it, but that didn't happen. But it was a smash out the box, and that came after we produced Roxanne, which is another great story about that. May he rest in peace, because I still mourn him today, and that's Kango Kid, who's up in heaven, who's up in heaven, along with Educated Rapper up in heaven. But how UTFO came to be, because they was our first group that we produced, how they came to be is that Kango Kid used to bother my brother B Fine's girlfriend in high school in Wingate High. And he would be bothering her and teasing her, and she would complain to him. So B says to Mike Hughes, Mike is always in the mix. He said, Mike, do you know this guy? Do you know this guy named Sean Faquare? They call him Kango. Do you know him? Because he's in Wingate. And Mike Hughes says, yeah, I know him. Yeah, well, he's fucking around with my girl, with Booby. That was her nickname. And I want to come see him. I want to fuck him up, because she keeps complaining about him. Do you know where I can reach? He said, yeah, you can come up to the school. I'll show you exactly who he is. So my brother B went to the school, Wingate High, or Winthrop, whatever it was, but he went to the school, and Mike said, yeah, okay, let me bring you to Kango. So what happens that when they went looking for Kango, they said, oh yeah, he's like in a dance program on stage for an assembly program. So they went to the assembly program, and my brother B stood in the cut and watched Kango Kid dancing on stage for assembly. And he was so impressed with his dancing. He told Mike from coaching him, he said, yo, this boy's good, man. Maybe he could do some dancing for Full Force and open up for Full Force, as a dancer. So introduced me to him. So after he finished everything, Mike Hughes introduced him. Hey, Mike, this is Sean Kango. This is B Fine from local group Full Force, and he just wanted to meet you. And so Mike thought that B was just gonna like fuck him up, beat him up. But B said, hey, listen, man, you dance really good, man. I want you to get in touch with me tomorrow. Mike will give you my number, and I think maybe you could open up for my group, Full Force. You know what I mean? As a dancer.
Amazing.
But you're really talented. And then B left.
Did he ever mention his girlfriend? Did he ever
check this out? B never told him, but after B left, after telling him, Mike Hughes said, yo, Kang, man, you know who that was? He said, yeah, he's from a local group named Full Force. No. Do you know who that was? You know what he really came down here to do? He came here to fuck you up, man.
He came to kick your fucking ass.
He came here to kick your fucking ass. And he said, why? He said, because you know that girl that you keep messing with, Booby, that's his woman.
Wow.
Said, what? And
so what was his energy when he came to the audition and on that? Was there any like weird tension or anything?
Who? Who came to the audition?
For Kango, when he came to audition, when he came to dance for
no.
Force.
Yeah, there was nothing after that.
Okay. I can't hear you. The volume went out. And we'll be right back.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, there we go.
Hold on for a second, man.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Technology is great, but it be messing up sometimes.
But but of course you edit this and stuff, of course, right?
No, we go straight live.
Oh shit! Hold on, guys, don't kick my freaking eyes. This is live right now.
This is good. You giving us gems, jewels.
This is live right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
Good.
Okay.
It's live, but it's not. We ain't air. I'm gonna air it on Father's Day.
Okay, good. That's what I meant. It wasn't happening in real time.
Oh, no, sir.
6. Okay, hold on for a second. I can't believe this. It's crazy. Okay. Oh, man.
It is all good.
Okay. Okay, let's get back to you now.
Okay. So now with you guys being I mean, y'all a hip hop group, but y'all voices are just amazing. Your voice, your brother's voice, Paul Anthony, great singers. Who are some of your influences vocally to get the sound together?
Can you see me in here, man?
I can see you.
Okay, let me know if you can't. But you can see me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Where was I? Okay, with Kango Kid, right. So just to finish that off, after meeting with Kango Kid, Kango came to dance for the group, and he was phenomenal. After that, he told my brother B-Fun, I got this other guy named Dr. Ice. He could dance as well. Doc and Kango they went by the name of the Keystone Dancers. They danced for us. Our co-manager, may he rest in heaven, Steve Salem, he's also got them to dance for Houdini on tour. They were the first dancers to dance with a rap group before anybody.
Okay.
And then when they told us they could rap, B said, well, let me hear what you could do is rapping. And they started rapping, and then the rest is history with Roxanne. They was doing songs, but I remember my brother B-Fine waking up in the middle of the day and said, yo, man, we was going to come out with this song called Hanging Out for them, called Hanging Out. And B said, yo, man, let's do a B-side to Hanging Out. And, you know, he told the guys, let's call it Roxanne. And
Oh my God.
it was B's concept. He said it'll be about a girl named Roxanne, and the three of y'all are after her, but none of y'all get her. And that was a first in hip hop, because hip hop always got the women. Then after that, Roxanne just took off. It was such a monumental smash that caught us off guard. It was 25 answer back records to that song.
I remember.
We produced that. And then after that was Lisa and Kudjum, If I Wonder If I Take You Home. Then after that, All Cried Out and all of that stuff. And then after that was when we did the real Roxanne with Hitman Howie T, because Roxanne Shante did a song called Roxanne's Revenge.
Oh yeah.
Which was big, and it was one of the answer back records. So when people started coming out, like with Sparky's Turn from Sparky D and Roxanne's Mother and Roxanne's Daughter, I'm like, yo, we better come out with our own answer record. So it was my idea to call her The Real Roxanne, and that's what we did. It was The Real Roxanne was originally a girl by the name of Elise Jack, and she's the one that recorded the song The Real Roxanne on there. But then we
that was the light-skinned girl, right?
She was the light-skinned one. She was the original one. But then we changed up on her because of personal stuff, and we got the Puerto Rican girl called Joanne Martinez. Joanne Martinez became The Real Roxanne, and she's the one in the Roxanne video. In fact, me and Joe. Oh, are you kidding? She's drop dead good, and she's still beautiful. In fact, maybe about a month ago, me and her reunited for the first time in 30 years, and I took her out. And I took her out to see this Broadway musical called MJ the Musical, which is a story about Michael Jackson. Me and her hung out. So it was really, really great. After that, that's when we came out with then Cheryl Pepsi Riley, but Thanks for My Child. But as far as Full Force, Steve Salem, because our father started us off, you know, as singers. My father was the one that heard my brother Paul Anthony sing in the bathroom. And he's like, went to tell my mother, my God, he could sing. And he started working with my brother Paul. After that, I became jealous. So I said, Dad, I want to sing too. And we were little kids at this time. And me and Paul started singing. And then my brother B-Fine, who wasn't interested in singing, my father just forced him into singing with us, you know? And that's how our voices blend, because my father was great with harmonizing and things like that. That's why when we came out as Full Force, Steve Salem told us, because we couldn't get a record deal when we tried as Full Force trying to get a deal, but Steve Salem said, guys, I think if you guys produce other artists, I think you guys will then get attention to yourselves, I feel, and then getting a deal for Full Force. So I wasn't with it, but everybody else was, and that's what happened, because I never heard about an R&B group producing for anybody. But we might have been the first. So when we produced UTFO, Roxanne, and then The Real Roxanne, and then Lisa, then Full Force got a record deal at Columbia Records, and we came out with Alice, I Want You Just For Me, which was co-written and co-produced by Howie Hitman T. I mean, Howie should have got production credit when it came out, but as young people, you know, Steve Salem was in charge of all the credits and all of that stuff, and we didn't even know, but he should have got credit for co-production also, Hitman Howie T, because Alice was our first big Full Force record out of the box. Yep.
Was those songs that you came out with as Full Force, were those songs you were shopping when you wasn't able to get a deal as Full Force, or these are songs you created after?
Yeah, songs we created after. Once we got our deal, we start creating, because then after Alice, I Want You Just For Me was Temporary Love Thing, which was a top.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a
Yes.
top 10 record for us. Then I
Classic,
think
classic.
we came out with Unfaithful. What did we come out with? Unselfish Lover. We came out with Unselfish Lover, which was the first time any song used a sample. And we used Billy Squire's Big Beat for our song Unselfish Lover. Other than that, nobody was sampling back then at that time. But we did, you know, and we came out the gate spearheaded by my brother Paul Anthony, as you know, we showed our physical things, because nobody talked about physical fitness until Full Force. As far as in music, we came
Yeah,
out
that's a fact.
showing our bodies and everything like that. Even when we used to tour, but like I'll never forget Michael Bivins coming up to me and says, "Yo, Lou, man, how do you feel, man? How do you feel that you guys were the first ones to start taking off your damn clothes and showing y'all muscles and stuff way before LL and 50 Cent and all of that? How do y'all feel, man?" I said, "Man, we feel great, because during our shows on concert, Full Force, we had wild shows, man, wild." My brother Paul Anthony, we would say, "How many ladies would like to see Paul Anthony take it off?" And they go crazy. And Paul used to take off his top and start to do a strip down. And nobody ever did that in music. And
Right.
not
Especially
only,
not
not
R&B.
never in R&B, well, not even in hip hop at the time.
Yeah.
And check this out. When the girls would go, "Yeah," and he would take off his top, and everything, then I would come on the mic and say, "Yo, ladies, listen, I know he just took off his shirt, but don't y'all think that's some cheap shit?" And they said, "Yeah." I said, "Everybody say cheap shit, cheap shit, cheap shit, cheap shit." And then I said, "Ladies, he's got to finish the job, right?" And they went crazy. "Yeah." I said, "Okay, all the ladies in the house say pull it down,
Oh Lord.
pull it down." It was bedlam. And then what we do is they say, "Pull it down." And Paul goes, "Y'all some nasty motherfuckers, but here goes." And then Paul would start to do take off this, take off that. And then when he's about to pull it down, that nigga pulled it down. He had all kind of different G strings. That the first night he did it, he had a red G string, and he started posing, and the women was going crazy. Nobody's ever seen anything like that before in music, period, until Full
Yeah.
Force, you know. So it was,
No,
man, we
well,
got some
that's why
great
you all
memories.
are the pioneers that you are, y'all. You didn't just bring music. You gave image. You represented for the Black community. You represented for yourselves, for your family. It was just a dope time to grow up with
Yeah,
you
man.
guys. Now,
Yeah.
but
Great.
you guys also produced a project that I was a fan of, and it doesn't get mentioned too often, but I want to get the backstory of this one. LaToya Jackson's "You're Gonna Get Rocked." That
Right.
album, I bought it and I thought it was great. Such a Wicked Love, Not Giving Up on Love, You're Gonna Get Rocked. How did that project? How did you guys get connected with LaToya? And because I was excited for it. That was right after the
Well,
Playboy magazine.
I
Or
know.
before.
Don't forget the song "You Blue."
You
That was
blew,
that
you
was my
blew.
favorite.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
That was my favorite. Well, with LaToya Jackson, and that album did great overseas too. But with
Mm-hmm.
LaToya Jackson, we was approached to produce her by Skip Miller of RCA Records. And they said, "Yeah, we love you to produce." I didn't even know she sang at the time, but we agreed to do it. They gave us a lot of money, and we did 4 joints on her. And the first song we did was "You're Gonna Get Rocked," which my brother B Fine spearheaded. In hindsight, looking back, I think "You're Gonna Get Rocked" was the wrong single, only
Mm-hmm.
because to me it was kind of gimmicky, you know. And the way she opened it up, you know, "Put up your sleeves, and if you're gonna get," and I don't know, it might have been too gimmicky. It still did okay, but I think if we would have released "You Blue," even more than "Your Wicked Love," "Such a Wicked Love," I think that'd have been great. But we still enjoyed working in the studio with her. The crazy thing about it, this was when she was having problems with her parents, and the guy Jack Gordon, who she
Yeah, her
married,
manager. Mm-hmm.
he was there. He was there on all the sessions, and he used to. So one day, I get a phone call at my home from Joe Jackson and Catherine Jackson. I'm like, how the hell they even got my number? And they just asking questions about, "Yeah, so where she's at?" I said, "Well, she's with this guy named Jack Gordon." "Really? Well, you know, we want her back home," and blah, 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 blah. it was just a crazy time. But she was a really sweetheart. I think she was kind of limited with her vocals, but she was a sweetheart to work with. We did 4 joints on her, and that was pretty good. Nobody ever asked us that much about LaToya Jackson, but she's a sweetheart.
Yeah, that was a dope time. I mean, I'm a Jackson fan, so I was buying all anything Jackson, Freddie Jackson, Janet Jackson, any Jackson.
You said Freddie Jackson.
Anything Jackson, I was buying. So with y'all's production record and stuff like that, for all the hits that y'all had produced, and I was like, this got to be good, and it was. The whole album I thought was good because she had the Rick Ashley produced on that project too, or somebody that worked with him. So
Rick Aston, yeah.
Yeah, Not Giving Up on Love. I thought that was gonna be the all her Let's Wait a While or All Cried Out. The tension was there. So you guys did a good job on that joint. So more
Thank you, brother.
what they say, justice for You're Gonna Get Rocked album. So then you produced the legendary James Brown, which would I'm Real Static. What was that like?
That was a great project also. We was approached to do that by a guy named damn, what's his name? But he was from Scotty Brothers Records, which James Brown, that was the label that James Brown did Living in America on. And when they approached us to do James Brown, we was very ecstatic and excited. And we couldn't believe they was even asking us, but Mr. Brown was a big fan of ours. And when we came to be, I said, sure, we was excited. I'll never forget a few days before we started working with him, we had heard rumors that he was mean in the studio and all of that stuff. So, we got a little nervous. So I said, let me call somebody that might have worked with him and ask. And I called and I got the phone number of Dan Hartman. And that's who I spoke to. Dan Hartman produced Living in America. But
Okay.
Dan Hartman had his own little disco hits like Instant Replay and Relight My Fire.
Yeah.
That was Dan Hartman.
Mm-hmm.
So I called him up. I said, hey, Dan, how you doing, man? This is Bow-Legged Lou from Full Force. Hey, how you doing? I said, listen, we're getting ready to work with James Brown on a whole album. We're getting ready. It's like a comeback album. I just want to know, is he mean? We heard rumors. And he said, okay, well, I'll tell you what. The first thing, you don't call him James. You call him Mr. Brown, even in the studio. I'm like, okay, we got it. And when we worked with Mr. Brown, we called him Mr. Brown, like all throughout the sessions. We still call him Mr. Brown to this day. May he rest in peace. So he said, yeah, Mr. Brown. Then he said, I never used to tell all these stories back then, but I tell them now. And then he said, oh yeah, and by the way, if his wife comes to the session, don't look at her. I said, don't look at her. He said, just don't look at her. I'm telling you, one time we was doing a session and his wife was there and he stopped the session and he said, Dan, why are you looking at my wife? I said, Mr. Brown, I'm not looking at your wife. No, I saw you looking at my wife, Dan. Why are you looking at my wife? I wasn't looking at your wife, sir. Dan, don't look at my wife. And then Dan Hartman tells me, now, Lou, I said to myself, why the hell would I be looking at his wife when I'm gay?
Oh my God.
So in my mind, I'm like, and listen, I have nothing against gay people, but I was just so shocked that he even told me that. Then I said, oh shit, Dan Hartman's gay? But I didn't care. But he told us different stories about Mr. Brown. So when the first day we worked with Mr. Brown and he came off the elevator, we sent Paul to go meet him. And Paul went to meet him off the elevator. And Mr. Brown had on like, he was dressed to the nines. He came in the studio and he talked to us and he said, gentlemen, I love you. I love you like I'm my kids. I love Full Force. And we're going to have a good time working together, okay? I just want y'all to know that. And then he left. And we're like,
just like a ghost.
He just fucking left. And he said, we'll start tomorrow. Because we thought we were going to start that night. But see, at that time, when we was working with Mr. Brown, he was going through some stuff. That's when he was shooting at his wife, shooting at the car.
Oh my God.
The gun chases, we was in the middle of all of that shit. And a lot of times Mr. Eddie Murphy used to see us at places, man, Full Force fucked up James Brown, man. James Brown's acting crazy because of Full Force. And it was so crazy. Because the first song,
a smash album. I bought that joint, Static, I'm Real. Oh my God. It was another one I think had a reprise to it. Oh man.
It was
a dope album.
She Looks All Types of Good, that one?
Yeah, I think that, but it had, if I'm remembering correctly, it had like an extended play? Like it came on and then it came back on at some point.
I think that might have been Static. I'm thinking
Okay.
Static and I'm Real was Mr. Brown's last 2 top 5 singles in his career.
That's the last ones I bought.
Yeah.
Cause y'all brought them back for our generation. You know what I'm saying? So y'all gave them that funk that everybody was sampling. Y'all was able to bring it back to them for one last good time, and we appreciate you for it.
Yes, thank you.
Now, one more question. But Thanks for My Child with Cheryl Percival, because that's like an amazing track. Like what they played that song, if I remember correctly. I don't know if it was Mother's Day or Thanksgiving, but every radio station played it at one point in time at the same time. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was Mother's Day.
It was Mother's Day. Okay, that makes sense. Because I was saying Thanksgiving, but I was like, that don't make sense. Turkey and Thanks for My Child. That be thankful,
Yeah.
but
I mean, yeah. It was on Mother's Day, and all the R&B stations played it simultaneously. That was huge for our point. That record went #1, and it was a big record for us. It was a big record for Cheryl, and
yeah.
and I'll never forget. I actually wrote that song. Me, and then Baby Jerry did the music, because people would think that, oh, did Cheryl write it? But Cheryl did have there was a B-side on that called the Confrontation Mix, and Cheryl co-wrote some of that. But we was excited when that went #1. That was a huge record.
Yes. That was a beautiful album too. Me, Myself, and I. That was a beautiful. Y'all contributed a lot of beautiful work to culture. So I mean,
Thank you.
I'm sure you get your flowers, but on the Soul Streets, I want to make sure that I give it to you as well, because the music is like, it's timeless. The artists are timeless. Like when I see Cheryl Pepsi Valley today, I asked her, I said, when are you gonna sing Thanks for My Child? Because she never sings it out in public that often. So, but hey, well, hopefully one day I'll get to see her perform it live again.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to her. You saw her perform it live before?
Yeah, when it was out, she did a show with it was I believe it was in Queens at a basketball tournament, and you guys were there too. It was Too Hype, Too Hype, the brothers that was that song Too Hype, that Keith
Okay.
Sweat, it was them two and Cheryl Pepsi Riley performed at some basketball tournament type of situation.
And she went on tour with Keith Sweat too.
Oh really?
And
Okay.
I gotta ask her, because you're saying when she does. I gotta ask her why she don't do Thanks for My Child.
Because I see her in open mics and stuff. So like she
Yeah,
doesn't
she does a
ever.
lot of those open mics. She should definitely sing that song.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
because
ask
people
her.
want to hear it. She be
And
singing
you
the
know
hell out of
what?
everybody else's song.
And there's another song that you're right. And there's another song she should sing. And I'm gonna tell her that when I see her. I'm gonna see her because she's at the Brooklyn Academy of Music. She's doing like a residency. I'm gonna ask her also another song that I think she should sing, especially now, is a song called "How Can You Hurt the One You Love," and
Oh
we
yeah,
we
for
were
the domestic violence.
yeah we recorded that on her, and it was a top 20 hit. So she should sing that too. I'm gonna tell her.
Yeah, yeah, because she really should, because that
Mhm.
song "Thanks for My Child" for sure is a song that we all be behind the scenes like, why she don't ever sing that song? Because like Allison Williams, she sings "Just Call My Name" a little bit more than because Cheryl never sing "Thanks for My Child." But then you got history with Allison too, because she sang basketball and y'all had something to do with that. Yeah,
We
yeah,
co-wrote we co-wrote that. We co-wrote that for Kurtis Blow before Full Force was even known,
yeah.
and and the musicians played on it as well. And we co-wrote that with Kurtis. We love Kurtis because before our career took off, Kurtis treated us with nothing but respect, and we were such an unknown group. But he treated us with respect, and he took us on tour with him,
Wow.
with him, Rick James, New
Oh
Edition,
my God.
Mary Jane Girls, and Midnight Star. And
Oh,
we were
that was a
like
good
the
one.
backup. Yeah, we were the backup band, and we also sang "Party Time" because we did that as a sing "Party Time." Whoa, it's party time. We're having a party on Kurtis Blow first before I forgot his name. He did like a remake of it though. But yeah, Kurtis Blow. We did that with basketball, which is great. Which is a great song.
So that
Still
was your
great to
first.
us today.
That's your first hit in the industry was basketball.
Co-writing, yep, and we co-wrote that. We didn't produce it, but we co-wrote it. That was our first hit in the industry
Right.
before Full Force became known for producing UTFO.
Well, that's amazing. That's amazing. You've had you guys continue to have amazing journey. We haven't even didn't even get into the pop acts that you continue to write for. New Kids on, not New Kids on, but
No,
NSYNC
the
and
Backstreet Boys, Justin
Backstreet Boys.
Timberlake and Sync, Britney Spears, LFO. We worked with Selena. We were the last American producers to work with Selena. May she rest in peace. And we co-produced on her album. And so many, Samantha Fox, we had big hits
Samantha
with as
Fox.
well.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We did Little Kim. We did Rihanna on Rihanna's debut album.
Because y'all name gets brought up with Nicki Minaj too. So what did y'all do for Nicki Minaj?
Nicki Minaj, we started out. I'm gonna send you. You know what I'm gonna send you? I'm gonna send you this link, this video link that we're proud of, actually. And you just learn a lot of things that you never knew about us. You'll be like, holy crow. And we talk about Nicki also. And Nicki's on there talking, saying my name like 3 different times in the whole video. Okay. But what we did is we worked with her in the early part of her career when her name was Nicki Minaj. And then we worked with her. We got her together with my son, Lou Star, in a group called the Hood Stars. And and we produced a song called The Autobiography, which was like a big mixtape joint for her. It was a life story song that we produced and sang on as well. So we did stuff in the early going, but we tried to get her a deal, but it was hard. We took it to 50 Cent. We took it to Jay-Z. Nobody wanted to deal with female rappers at the time. So when we parted ways with Nicki, we parted ways amicably. But I told her, Nicki, you should jump on MySpace and see what's happening on there, because you never know. And that's what she did. And then Fendi discovered her, changed her name. Then Debbie. I explain it in the link. Anybody can look it up on YouTube too. Just Google Full Force Nicki Minaj, you'll see. But I'm gonna send you the video link. You'll give me your number before we close out here.
Okay. But I appreciate this time, and thank you so much for sharing your journey and your story. And thank you once again for all the contributions you've done. You've given us in music, because you guys were the shit. Y'all was in movies, producing hits for yourselves. I mean, y'all made New York. Y'all was part of. Y'all are New York motherfucking city. Like, this shit was crazy. You have to be there, type shit. You have to be there, type shit. So I'm glad I was. Are you guys from Brooklyn, or are you from Yonkers? Because I saw something where y'all from Yonkers, but then I hear Brooklyn.
Yeah, we're not from Yonkers. We was raised in Brooklyn, New York. That's where we made it out of. I was born in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, but we all, us and our cousins, we all was raised in Brooklyn, and that's where we came out of. Not Yonkers. I know that's on the internet, which is crazy.
Yeah, I was like, I've never heard that before. I was like, but then that would be, everybody in Yonkers would be bigging that up, because there ain't but so many people that came from y'all, even though some great ones. But you guys would definitely be mentioned if y'all was from Yonkers. But I saw that, so let me clear that up real quick in my own head.
It's all good.
All right, so
my brother, am I still on the air?
Yeah, we're about to close it out now. So
let me say this real quick, just real quick. So we talked about the music, and there's so much more stuff. But when I send you that link, you could probably even share it with your listeners or whatever like that.
Definitely.
But also, House Party. People like to ask questions about House Party, but House Party was me and my 2 brothers, Paul Anthony and B-Fine. We played Stabzilla and Pee-wee. And what happened is that when they wrote the original script, when Reggie Hudlin wrote the original script, how we knew about the audition, he described Full Force in the script. He said something about not Kid and Play, because at the one time it was supposed to be DJ Jazzy Jeff from Fresh Prince doing it, but he said,
I can see that too.
In the beginning. But in the script it says so and so is accosted and threatened by three bullies with jerry curls and great physiques. Somebody like Full Force. That was actually written in the script. So one of Reggie Hudlin's, who's the writer and director of House Party, one of Reggie Hudlin's friends, Robert Ford, said to him, "Why don't you just get Full Force?" And Reggie says, "I don't know. Do you know them?" He said, "Yeah, I know them." And Robert told him about us, and we went to audition for the Hudlin brothers, Reggie and Warrington, the 3 of us. And we did, because being that the 3 of us got great chemistry from when we were young, because I majored in theater when I was in college, but I always loved acting. And me and my brothers used to always do little plays in the house, just our own original plays that I would force them to do. So when we did the audition, we just did improvisational, and we got the part right on the spot. Now, when we all went to Los Angeles to do a table read with us, Martin Lawrence, Kid and Play, John Witherspoon, Tisha Campbell, AJ Martin, I mean, everybody, we doing
Oh my
the
God.
read.
You got
We're doing
history.
we're doing the table read. And then after the table read, we go back to our hotels. And I tell my brothers, I said, yo, Paul, Lou, I don't like the way we're portrayed in this movie. We're just regular bullies with no personalities. The both of y'all already did that in Crush Groove. Because my brothers was two bullies in Crush Groove. And they just had two scenes and just beating up Russell and Blair. So I said, listen, I'm going to change up this part right in the script. And we're going to show it to the Hudlin brothers and see what's happening. I said, B, because in the original one, my brother B Fine was called Pee Wee, and I was Zilla. My brother Paul was always Stab. I said, B, we're going to change names. Since I'm the smallest one, I'll be Pee Wee, you're Zilla, and let me change this. I'm going to talk like this throughout the whole movie. So my brother's like, what are you talking about? I said, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I said, don't do that. I said, no, it'll be funny. And my inspiration for that was Joe Pesci from Lethal Weapon 2, I think, with Chris Rock, and he's going, okay. He was my inspiration, and Curly from the Three Stooges. Those two was my inspiration to do that Pee Wee part. So I ended up changing one scene with "I'm gonna kick your fucking ass." I made that up. I also made up "I smell pussy." I made that up.
Oh,
and
man.
Yeah, because I used to say that in the studio by myself. We used to look at the mirror of who would be coming in the studio. So any female coming in the studio, like say Patti LaBelle or Samantha Fox, and as they're walking in the studio and we could see who's coming in, I would go, "Hey guys, I smell something. I smell something. I smell pussy." And right after I finished pussy, then they would open the door, like Patti LaBelle or Samantha Fox. Or Cheryl Pepsi Robbie.
Or Latoya Jackson.
Or Latoya Jackson. So that would just be a fun joke between
Nicki
us.
Minaj.
Or Nicki Minaj. And then we threw that into the movie. So when we showed the Hudlin brothers our idea of wanting to change up that part in the movie and make because we were just regular bullies and the lines we had were so corny. But when we showed them the kick your fucking ass and I smell pussy and the thing, both of them looked at us after we finished, and Warrington Hudlin pointed at us and he said, "Keep it." And then he walked off, and then Reggie said, "You heard my brother." He said, "Keep it." And we kept it. And after that, I told my brothers, we are changing every fucking scene that we are in this script. and that's what we did. So at the time, we didn't know because we could have probably got some writing credit, but everything you see in House Party, me and my brothers created. Everything.
That's amazing, man. Yeah, and
man.
I represented real men, real brothers. So you gave us, real images to look, to want to emulate and stuff like that. Positive images. You spoke well. Everything was just,
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. You spoke well. So whenever it comes to blacks, it's like you spoke well. When we was interviewed by Don Cornelius, may he rest in peace, that was my friend.
Yeah.
He said, "Well, I like what you guys are doing. You're articulate."
Yeah, because
when
y'all did, I was doing my, bring my mind back to a lot of different things you guys did, and I saw the Dick Clark
American Bandstand.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this is why they were able to connect with the all cried out audience, the instinct, because you understood how to speak. That's from early on, and that's I don't know. That's, to me, I look at that as being universal, because you got to be able to flip it, and you guys flipped it, and you would have never thought that just by looking at you guys, because y'all was so gangster looking, but then y'all
gangster looking with the Jerry curls. So people make fun of our Jerry curls only because we showed our skin.
That was lit back then. That was lit.
Oh,
Jerry curls.
Yeah, because
if you didn't have a Jerry curl back then you wasn't doing nothing.
And it was the combination of us with the Jerry curls and showing our physiques. So that was the combination. There was nothing like that before, So it's crazy. But yo, man, I'm gonna get ready to run. I hear my mom calling me. I'm gonna go take care of her. This was great. I'm sorry that I was late. Give me your number so I can put it down. But let me just tell your listeners, all you listeners out there, if you have a dream, always stay positive, never give up. we felt it took a long time for us to even make it to where we were, but we just never gave up as a collective, the six of us. We would sit in our basement practicing all the time. We would be talking about videos that we're going to do, even though we didn't have a record deal, because we believed so much in ourselves. We never gave up. So if you truly believe in yourself, stay believing. If any doors is closed in your face, you knock down them doors and you keep on keeping on. That's what we did. So it doesn't have to be about music. It could be you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, anything in life. Stay positive. And my one wish to everybody out there looking at this great show is, may all the positive and optimistic things in life forever be yours.
Blessings. Thank you so much. Happy Father's Day, and thank you so much for blessing this platform.
And happy Father's Day to you too and your 19 children.
Speaking into existence. I appreciate it. All right, so we're going to close it, and I'm going to give you